Hi, Bobby. Good morning. This is Belinda Brown with Equanimity Executive, and this morning we will interview Bobbi Govanus, and we will, discuss a little bit about how she was able to empower herself and also to empower other women. So, like you know, every month I have this Woman Empowered series where we will host and have as a guest a woman that has succeeded and who wants to help other women to move forward with their life and their dream. So, good morning, Bobby.
Good morning, Belinda. How are you today?
I am doing perfectly fine, thank you.
I'm glad to be with you and looking forward to talking with you today a little bit about empowering women and trying to make a difference in the world. So lead on, my
Definitely.
Z. Lead on.
Definitely, yes. So, Bobby, first we will introduce, you a little bit, and you are VP of Retriever Payment System today, and I would like, you to tell us a little bit, more about this job, but also your life and how you ended up to be as successful as you are today.
Well, it's all about reinvention. You don't start off your life, you have a plan and then you change your plan. And
Hmm.
I have changed my plan, let's see, probably 10 times, different careers. Started off in retail and
Hmm.
became a buyer for women's clothing for JCPenney for 11 years. Went into became a stockbroker and
Yes,
sold everything from stocks to stocks. Um,
I love it.
yes, then went back into retail after the crash of 1987. I was the broker of the day on Black Monday. So that was like, oh my gosh. So I stuck it out 6 months after that and said, I really don't like being out of control. I
Hmm.
know that about myself. I need to go back to what I'm comfortable with. I call it mom and apple pie because I understood that business. So you
Hmm.
kind of go back to your cocoon a little bit. Um, had a desire after that to start my own business. I was
Hmm.
in retail, but store manager for Circuit City, had 200 employees, did and had the biggest store in Minneapolis, a volume store in Minneapolis, and so I'm going to work 60, 80 hours a week. I'm going to do it for myself. Yeah, so I started my own company, and it was called For Your Instructors, and it was a brokerage service for computer trainers.
Hmm.
So I kind of had a niche in 1995 through 2000 where everybody and their brother needed to know about computers. So we were providing, I had over 1,000 trainers, sent them all over the world, even to France. Uh,
Hmm.
and had, created a $5 million business. So that was interesting, challenging, and kind of surprised people, but it was fun.
Yes.
And, I went from working in the basement of my home to 12 employees and 1,000 trainers. So it was a kind of a roller coaster, big ride.
Hmm.
I have since closed the business and moved to Florida and have been doing marketing and was recruited by Mike Swoboda, who owns Retriever Payment Systems, to come and work for him as his vice president of marketing. So that's how I got here. I know.
Hmm.
Holy cow, what a trip, right? So you're
It
like,
was.
it was, yeah, absolutely. But I think we all get to the point in our lives where we need to reinvent. And so it brings us an opportunity to go, I have a talent, I want to use it. I'm not finding it in this job, so I need to find a new job or another way. And sometimes people find that way in giving back, mentoring or giving back to being involved with charities or philanthropic causes, where they find a way to find a new career. And that's what I basically have done throughout the path. But I think I've always been selling um, in a way because that's what I love. I mean, I love to sell and I love to match people up, connect people, and make them more successful. So,
Hmm. Yeah, that's really interesting, Bobby, because I have, known you for about, a year, and that's true that, giving back is the thing that you do the best, and matchmaking people as well. You are always open to connect and to share the wealth. It's not, something that you keep for yourself. So I am really admiring yeah, the path that you have, taken, going from being, an employee, opening your own business, and now decided, to land at a place that you feel comfortable with the autonomy of doing exactly what you like without you have the maybe the weight of owning your own business yourself. So let me know what makes you think a successful woman. What was the strengths that you have exhibited and that you have reinforced during your life to be able to be this successful woman?
I think that I never felt like I was an employee.
Mm-hmm.
I know when people talk about that, but I always treated my life as my own business. So in other words, when I worked for J.C. Penney, I ran the store and took ownership of it like it was my store. And that empowered my employees, that empowered the people that worked beside me because they felt challenged too. I mean, well, why does she work so hard? Or why does she, but it was all about, we need to make the money to turn the lights on. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times when you work in a big company, you don't think that you're making a difference. And I knew I was, and so if you take it that seriously, you enjoy your life much more. Um, you, the finding the reason to get up every morning. I never have been a person to hit the snooze alarm. I mean, it's like, oh, I'm excited about things. So you just look at it for what you're going to bring to the day and what you can empower other people. And so, I mean, when I started, I hate to say the numbers, but back in the early 70s, women didn't write a check. Women didn't know how to, I mean, they didn't ever have a credit card, never, I mean, forget it. And so for me, especially working at Penny's, I had almost all women working for me. But when I would go to buying meetings, I was the only woman in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, um, that's kind of scary. I think, why is this the situation? So I've been a kind of a trailblazer and making a difference. And that's why I think I took that mindset of, I'm not working for somebody else, I'm working for myself. And that's when I speak now at UCF or some of the colleges, and I say, you're never working for anyone else. You're always going to work for yourself. And if, creating the resume that you're proud of, that those new landmarks that you're constantly forging and creating new products and creating a new way of doing things, that's going to be who you are forever. So I
Mm-hmm.
tell people, get your own URL with your name right now, even if you're Joe Smith the Great. I mean, if everybody has the same, I mean, they're popular name. I'm lucky, Bobbi Govanus. There's only one of me, but
Mm-hmm.
that idea is that if we don't have that identity, because you're not going to stay in the same job, quote unquote, forever. Even if you never have your own business, your own business. You have to
Mm-hmm.
think that way. So it makes a huge difference in the way we all can live our lives if we start to view it that way. I mean, you just are more empowered and more impassioned and more focused because this is who you are and where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So I totally agree that, it's attitude and how, you perceive your job and how you perceive your life that can make, a difference. I know a lot of, people that are enjoying their work because they are just, taking it, yeah, it's for me that I'm doing it. I'm not, doing it for a company.
Right.
And people that are unfortunately unhappy at their job, it's certainly either that they didn't, find the right, passion, or that they are not adopting neither, the right attitude and thinking that they are working for someone.
Right.
So I really um, like what you said, and I hope that everyone will be able to listen and to embrace these words that you have shared, to be able to empower themselves and feel now that they are working for themselves each day that they are going to work, whatever the job, even if it's not the job of their dream yet, but thinking that they are doing it for themselves and acquiring something that it's here forever.
That's right.
That's wonderful.
One of one other thing is that no matter whether you need to find that passion, and if it's like I want to paint, then
Yeah.
paint. You know,
Mm-hmm.
then if I want to write, then write. You know, you have to do what you love, and then you're again motivated. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's whether or not nobody needs to pay you to do it. You know, it's something you're going to do because you love, and that way, eventually, when you do follow that path, you will get paid for it. So,
Yep,
yeah.
definitely. I totally agree with that. So you were, talking about being, the only woman in the bio room at some point and to be a trailblazer. Do you think that women nowadays do have to fight to be able to get what they want?
I think that they have to understand what they want. Too many women that I speak to, real men too, but mostly women, will say, I'll say, well, what is it that you need, or what do you
Hmm.
want, or how can I help you? And they look at me like a deer in the headlights. They don't know what to ask for, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, so it's like if you need um, somebody's running for office, and I say, what do you need from me? And they look at me, I'm not sure what you can do for me. That's not a good answer. You know, you
Hmm.
need to be able to say, I want you to introduce me to these four people, or I'd like you to host an event for me, or I want to go to, or I'm fundraising. I need to
Hmm.
have you write me a
Yeah.
check, you know, so that if you can say those things, people can say yes or no. You know, I mean, then they can make a decision. If you are meeting somebody that is empowered to make a decision, and they will, you know, I mean, so it's good to go for no, you know.
Hmm.
Ask until they can't say yes, you know. I
Hmm.
mean, it's got to be one or the other. You'd rather know than spend or waste your time, you know. I mean, so if they can't write you a check for 150 or $250, then maybe they know somebody who can, you know, and so they will feel like if they know what you need, they will try to get that for you. At least that's the way I believe. So,
Yeah, definitely. And I have, noticed that I have, been working with many women, and it's what I have noticed. It's, yeah, most of the times they don't know, they don't understand what they want, and this is why they are getting, so unhappy or unfulfilled, even if they are successful. And money-wise, they get, a big paycheck, and they get, a lifestyle that it's really comfortable, but they just, think that they have, something missing, and they're
right,
not able to identify it. And so we go through a process to have them to understand where is their passion, what they want to do, and to understand exactly what they want to be able to ask for it.
right,
Because if you
exactly,
don't know, there is, nothing will happen, and you can, stay in the dark for years. So
exactly. And
yeah.
being that unhappy person, I mean, because really you're frustrated, you know, you're
Hmm.
not being able to put your finger on what it is exactly that you need or want. And if you can do that, if you can figure it out, then you're going to find unlimited happiness, because it's like, good, I don't have to be focused on 10 different things. I can focus on one thing, and I know that's what I need. And my husband always tells me I'm one of the most focused people he knows. It probably drives him crazy, but yes, I'm very focused. So, yeah.
That's wonderful, and I think that it's one of the tip, and I know that several of the guests that I had said that yeah they had to stay focused, and they had to believe that what they were focusing on would definitely happen, and that they didn't want it to lose track, even if sometimes in their life they felt that they were going out of the trail. They just focus again and went back to what they wanted to do, and they were able to succeed. And so I would like, since you are, speaking with students and many people in different, universities and colleges, I would like to know what kind of tips or advice you are, giving to those young people and women to be able to succeed effortlessly or with less pain today in this fast-paced world.
I just spoke with the accountants over at UCF the other day, and one of the things that I told them is to embrace technology. And you think with college students that they're already there, but
Hmm.
I mean, they're very much into social media, but they're avoiding LinkedIn, or they're avoiding Twitter. And I'm saying,
Hmm.
this is where your jobs are going to come from. You know, 80% of the jobs today are found on LinkedIn. So
Mm-hmm.
if they don't have a full resume out there, they don't get endorsements, they don't get people, you know, join groups that are going to help them, you know, focusing in on the, you know, the kids that they're hanging with, which is great. I mean, that's what college is for, but you have to build a resume while you're there and becoming
Mm-hmm.
involved in things that are going to help them move up the ladder. Joining organizations, taking a leadership role, all that should be documented and getting feedback from the people that you know. So if you're the vice president and you created a new program, have people comment on that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the people that served on your committee can say, you know, great leadership qualities, et cetera. And so I tell them it's not too early to do that, you know, because people that are hiring now are looking at social media. And the
Mm-hmm.
other thing to avoid is the Facebook, you know, post with you with the lampshade on your head, you know, I mean, because it's forever, you know, I mean, when they're going to do your interview, they're going to look at everything. And
Definitely.
so it's really fun to share selfies and do all that kind of stuff, but it's not going to look good to a potential person hiring you. And there's no way to exclude that. It's
Mm-hmm.
forever, you know. So I tell people, you know, you just can't create something today for your interview. Excuse me. You cannot create an image for the interview just by putting on a suit. You know, you have to
Yes.
have, you realize now everything you've written out there, everything you've said out there, your political views, everything is record. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's important for you to recognize that and hold on to that, who you are, you know, what image you are, and get your own Facebook page, get your focus to be that who you are. And
Definitely.
I was not kidding. I said it's $12 a year to have your own URL, even if
Mm-hmm.
you know, but get your name locked down now, because the more and more people are coming out of school, and there are more and more people are creating and knowing. I mean, get your own YouTube channel, get your own, and start talking about things that are important to you. You know, have a blog, do things that are realistic and attainable for you. You know, having something, I mean, writing an article should become second nature to people. You know, and people
Mm-hmm.
look at me like, oh, are you kidding me? But no, it's like, it's serious, because that can be out there forever. And, you know, the opportunity for you to say something that's going to be meaningful for somebody that's going through a similar situation, that can relate to what's happening with you, increases your credibility 100-fold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, what you are, really saying here is that you can, use today social media and new ways to connect to really have, an impact, and to impact not only your life, but also to impact other people's life by sharing your thought about, a topic or something that you have really strong at your heart. And I think that it's something that a lot of women are not aware neither of. And we're talking about STEM, and I have been involved in different projects related to STEM, and how women are not yet enough engaged in engineering or in high technology simulation and all other job that were at some point maybe more male oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a need today to have those women getting on board, because we are missing a lot of opportunities for America, but for other different countries as well, not to have women involved in technology and being engineer and being really focusing on coding and programming. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't seem to be a sexy job, but it's really interesting because it uses creativity. It helps people to connect,
Right.
and it's something that everybody is able to do. It's not only a male job. There is
Right.
something that comes up from your brain. It's not coming from your muscles.
Right.
So I would really encourage women and young girls to look at all these jobs that didn't look fun maybe 30 years ago, but that are really really sexy and really interesting and high paying job today, and give the opportunity as well to evolve toward leadership roles, to take, higher responsibilities, and to empower other women and girls to take, the same path than others, have taken. At the time that you were a stockbroker, not many, women at the time were stockbroker, or not many, women were making big decisions about big buying for big boxes, such as, pennies and everything. So it's really interesting, really interesting. So I would like to ask you another, question before you will be able, to talk about your news and events and everything that we are, doing. I want, to talk a little bit about the minority box that I have, here for women, because it's something that was really new when I moved to the US. And I would like, to know if you think that today you fit in this woman minority box or not.
I hate to say it, but I think we still do. There's over 50% of the college students are women.
Yes.
Which is wonderful, but what is happening, we're still lagging behind in pay. We're still lagging behind in CEO and upper level jobs. And so no matter what they say that the glass ceiling has been broken, it still has not. So I really truly believe that women have to figure out what it is they want. If they want the big job, they can have the big job. If they don't want it, I mean, my daughters are, I have two daughters, and both of them are 40s. And so it's a matter of being in the highest caliber potential, earning potential. And so one of them had taken a full leave from working for 8 years to have her children, get them all grown up and get them into school. And she's just been offered to go back because she has her master's, she has, tenure, she has, so they were like, please come back to work, and we really want you to help us with this program. And so it's good to be able to step back if that's what you want to do, and have your children and get them to a point where they're in school. And I endorse that 100%, but that's your passion. And then, but don't be upset if other people have passed you by and the men are in a position to be leading because they didn't take the hiatus. Okay. But that's okay. I love the book Lean In. I love the books, that you can't have it all. I mean, there's positions for each and every person. I don't say that we all have to be here. I mean, everybody has where they want to be in life, but you have to know that this is where I want to be. That's the key, is figuring out where your passion is, what it is that you see yourself, where you see yourself, how you see yourself. And too many people are not aware enough. That's, I think, the problem. It's not so much the ladder. It's not so much because if you wanted to be a full-time employee or an entrepreneur, or you can achieve whatever you want to. I mean, seriously, there's women with 50 million, $50 billion companies. It is just that there's not enough of them. And why is that? Well, they've chosen a different path. That's okay. I mean, I totally believe that we're just as capable, and probably much more so. I say if women around the world, nobody would be hungry. We wouldn't allow it. We'd figure out a way to make it work. If women ran the world, we would not have war. We would figure out a way to sit down over coffee and, this is just not going to happen. We're just not going to let it happen. So it's just a matter of priority. And this is what I'm passionate about. If I'm going to run for president, and then I'm going to make these 10 things happen, and I would get them done. I don't care. This is going to happen. Where women, I think, have that capability. It's just they haven't figured out what it is they want. They have the strength, they have the power, they have the ability, we have the wisdom. We're going to the colleges and getting the great education. Figure out what it is you want, and then you'll get it done. So,
Yeah, no, no, that's really, true, and I think that, like we said it earlier, if you don't know what you want, yeah, you cannot, get it. So
Right,
some people are thinking that they want to have, a high pay salary, and they get it, and after that they are not, happy because either it's not enough, either it's not as great as what men have. But if you want to have more, there is some ways to make this happen. You have just to find new ways and to bring your vision, different vision. That's true that female and women have different vision about leadership, about society, about environment, about even bottom line. We don't
right,
think the same way. We don't have the same filters, and it's not good or bad. I just, think that we have, to acknowledge this and to help each other to grow, to climb the ladder, and that's why I'm really focusing, like you do, on working, with women to help them to find what is their passion, to guide them, to assist them to find exactly who they can, connect with, or where do they find a mentor or somebody to help them to grow as well and to define what they want, to make sure that, yeah, one day we will be able to not talk about the minority box anymore,
right.
because this is, something that I think even some women feel comfortable in, and I would love to be able to, to break this box finally, and just, to wake up in the morning and not, ask myself, am I in the box or not in the box, and just, say we are all equal and we can,
Right.
do all the job, men or women. We all have strengths, have education, we have everything that we need to be able to succeed. So I think that sometimes it's also a matter of attitude. And if you
Mhm.
wake up in the morning and feel that you are too much in the box, it might be limiting. And just, waking up sometime and say, I'm not in the box and I will make a difference today and I will take the first action to make this happen.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think we need to feel empowered. We have
Yes.
the opportunity
Yes.
um, and to realize that we can make the difference. I mean, that, and there's other women around us who want us to make the difference, that
Hmm.
will be behind us if we take the step forward. It's just a matter of making the step and making ourselves feel like we're worthy enough to take the step. A lot of times, women put themselves down and say, well, no, I could never do that. And that's
Exactly.
very frustrating for me because I realize and see the potential of people and think you're as worthy or worthier than any man in the job. You
Hmm.
can do it and bring something to the table that they could not bring. And so don't hold yourself back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I have, experienced, lately a lot with people that I'm meeting and with my client, where we really focus on, like you said, empowering and have them to say, yeah, I can do it, and not, saying, yeah, I have, this big dream, but it will never happen,
Right.
and because it has maybe never, been done before, or they feel that only a few women actually have been able, to make it, and that they have struggled too much, and they just, don't want to put themselves in this situation. But actually, there is a lot of ways to be able to go on this path now, and not to have, to suffer anymore, and to bring what you have, not to have to disguise to be able, to be at the top, but just, be yourself and bring something different, and show what kind of value you can, bring to an organization, show that you can also increase the bottom line, that you can also bring, new customers, and don't, focus on only trying, to mimic what men leaders are doing. Try to be yourself and to get, this out there, and to help other, women to do so as well. So
Mhm.
that's really, really interesting. So Bobby, I know that you have, many things that you want to share with us, because you were, talking about reinventing yourself at many times in your life, almost 10 times. And I want you to present an event that you will, be coordinating and facilitating in April, and other ones that you want, to share with us today.
Sure. I again figured that one of the things that I'm passionate about is helping people to realize what their potential is. And so, having been experiencing the passion test and going to seminars and reading untold numbers of books through my life, I was like, what what is the way that I got the most rejuvenation or the most motivation or the most, and it was a retreat. And I said, you know, because when I go on retreat, I'm surrounding myself, taking away the phone, getting away from the email, setting myself apart from things. And it was like, that's when I dug deepest. That's how I found what I needed to do next, how to research, how to do, you know, and expose myself to something that was going to make my life different and change me. So I have created a retreat for called the Reinvention Retreat, and it's actually on a cruise ship. April 29th through May 3rd, and I have invited wonderful speakers, including yourself. I'm so excited that you're going to be there, but I
Thank
have
you.
people talking about business, people talking about career, and people talking about personal change. And each of those three, I figure if, you know, somebody wants to come on board and figure out where to go from their next step in life. You know, I want to start my own business, but I don't know how. Or they're wanting to advance themselves in a career working for somebody else or having their own business. They can learn new skills on sales or learn new skills on the computer or learn new skills that will enhance leadership. So each of those areas. And then in personal, whether it's I want to handle stress better, I need to handle my relationships better, I need to lose weight, I need to, you know, eat healthier, I'm dealing with an illness, I need to have some new ways to approach things. We're going to have speakers for all those different things. And so 2 sea days and one wonderful day in Cozumel aboard the Vision of the Seas. Isn't that perfect, right? The
This
Vision
is perfect. Yes,
with
it is.
Royal Caribbean. And the ship has been newly remodeled, $22 million spent making it beautiful. So it's one of just come back out from this rejuvenation. So it's funny that it's being rejuvenated too. Um,
It is.
but we have, because all these speakers are so passionate about, we figured, you know, it's a great opportunity no matter what. So, but we put even to more together. Today and tomorrow will be a kind of a VIP passion push, as it were, and each of the speakers are offering additional goodies for the attendees who sign up today or tomorrow, and giving them the opportunity. Our cruise for an interior cabin is $524, including the retreat fee for 4 days, with all your meals and all the entertainment and all the speakers and all, you know, so it's a tremendous value. Um, I figured with the time and the seminars and all the different things that people are going to be experiencing, it's well over $3,000. So it's a great value. And then I have and additional packages that people are offering to, you know, for people that sign up this weekend. So it will be a tremendous opportunity to reinvent yourself. The passion test will be the way we start, and you'll find your 5 passions. Then each of the next 2 sea days, we have a sea day right away, a day in Cozumel, and then a sea day. We'll have the opportunity for people to dig deep, figure out a plan, and they will leave the ship with a plan of how to achieve their purpose and how to get to that next level. So I didn't want it to be another rah-rah day at the beach, you know, I mean, or another day in the seminar city. You know, it's just, I want them to be able to go home with something that they will be able to immediately begin and leave with a value that their life is on a new track. And I'm excited about it. So.
Yes, I am, really excited about, this as well, because I know that this event, it's not only powerful in the way that, in the sense that it's organized, because like you said, we will be disconnected from all communication and really be able, to focus and help people to focus on what they want, who they are, what they want, to do with their business, make, decision about, their personal life and their professional life, and maybe decide to revamp their career or to maybe approach their personal life, differently, to meet new people or to let go of some people in their life as well.
Right.
So it would be really interesting, and I am, really passionate about this project, and I think that it's a great opportunity for people to really be able to cleanse themselves and really to start fresh in the middle of the year. I know that it will be almost in June, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's never too late to take
No.
good resolutions and to be able to reinvent yourself. And yes, it will be. I think we are about 16 speakers that will provide great content, and that will assist every one of the attendees to find their passions and to be able to live with this roadmap and action plan to be able to start their new life and to be able to reinvent themselves, like you have done it, like I have done it many times, and like many of us have done it, to be able to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
To be successful in a sense that we find also happiness and peace. And I think that it's really what matters nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bobbi, I want, really to thank you for your time. I know that this morning will be, really busy because you are, working on this blitz, and I will, join you later in the day on different, event. And I really thank you very much for being here with me, with Equanimity Executive, and being able to share with us your experience and your tips and your energy and your passion for people and for women. And I hope to see you soon, and I wish you great success with this event, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely, Linda. Thank you very much. And to all of your listeners and watchers and people, I know that you can be all you want to be, and just having to find it, define it, and go for it. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great day, Bobbi. So this was
Bye-bye.
Belinda Brown with Equanimity Executive for this Woman Empowered series, and I see you next month. Bye.
Bye-bye.